Love you, really. It's really independent. Welcome to the show. Let's make a movie.
Hi, welcome everybody to Real Independent, the podcast where we talk to local filmmakers here in Central Florida. My name is Marty McMovie, and I am a filmmaker with make horror movies here in Central Florida. And today, I have a special guest, my friend and pal, Dom. Hi, Dominic.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm a big fan. I've been following you for a few years, so really excited to come on here and just chat.
Yes. Can you tell our audience a little bit about you?
Yeah, so my name's Dom or Dominic if you want to be professional. But uh
Not here.
I'm an instructor and a filmmaker and studio owner, born and raised in Florida. So it's great to get on here, talk a little bit about film. But yeah, what else do you want to know about me?
There's been rumors like everybody wants to know how old are you?
That's a tough question. You hit me with the tough questions first. How old do I look to you? Do I look old?
Kind of like 52, 47, 65.
I'll give you this, okay? It's under 52.
Okay.
Is that a good enough answer for your
Well,
audience?
that's good for the students. Yeah. What inspired you to start working on film? Do you had any schooling, or you just self-taught?
So I started TV production in high school. I picked it as an elective, and that kind of got me into editing and working the camera. I started using like Premiere Pro in there, and I basically how our high school worked is you basically were they ran it like a business, so we produced our own senior video every year.
Oh.
So my teacher, her name was Miss G. Shout out to her. She was very strict, but kind of like made me take it seriously. I definitely did more creative things in the class, but she would always like be like, "This sucks. Like, we can't use this." So everything I did, she didn't really like it because she wanted more like, she wanted it her way or the highway. So it was discouraging. Like, I do a lot more of that creative stuff now. Like, I kind of turned me off of that for a couple of years. I was like, dang, maybe I should just be professional because that's how she wanted it. But I don't know. She made me think more professional. It's like, okay, this is a career. This isn't just like messing around.
That's kind of like probably how, the way you treat your students, because we want to make sure they're you want to make sure they're professionals when they get out there, not just
Yeah,
phonies, right?
I think I'm a chill guy, so I think there's a balance between being professional and having fun, and with art's about having fun too. So you can be corporate with it. I've definitely done a lot of corporate stuff, and that can be mind numbing and life draining. So I think you need the goofiness and the comedy and the fun stuff in life too. So yeah,
Oh.
going back to the first question, it was that. Also, my late father studied film. I didn't really consider like, oh, like I'm kind of filling his shoes or anything like that. It kind of just happened organically. But I kind of followed in his footsteps going down the film route. It wasn't a conscious decision, but maybe some subconsciously I was like, maybe I should pursue film to live on some sort of legacy or something. But I never thought about it like that till later.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. But you mentioned before that you're kind of like a chill guy. What do you mean? Like, I know there's a particular style that you're always rocking.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever see me in person, it's kind of you just get chill vibes. I got the 1976 El Camino. I pull up in that. I
Ooh,
got the
El
shades,
Camino,
got the cowboy
classic.
boots. So, uh, I think when you're a chill guy and you got that look, people approach you. They're like, "Oh, you're cool. Let's talk for a bit. Let's be chill together." And I accept that. I'm the cool teacher, and the cool guy in real life too. And if you see me out in public, don't approach me. I will
You
freak
will
out.
bite.
I will bite. But
Ugh.
no, I'm
Yeah.
chill. We can talk. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you kind of have a unique look, some people approach you. They're like older people approach and be like, "You look like me from 1972," and I'm like, "Thank you, old person. I don't know, but it's cool meeting you." And then we'll talk for like a couple minutes. Same with the Camino. Boomers will stop me all the time and they'll be like, "What year is that?" I had a 72, but it got T-boned and I don't have it anymore. It's like, okay, well, goodbye. But
Uh, and,
yeah.
and you mentioned about corporate jobs. What kind of corporate work do you did, like within the media industry?
Yeah, so I started off doing videography, which was cool. It was definitely corporate. It was a restaurant equipment company. But I don't know, it was unique because we worked in office. So I would go around and they'd be like, hey, go into the warehouse and make a video about the pans or make a video about our spoon selection. And I'm like, all right, well, how do I make a video about pans or spoons? Interesting. So that
Ooh.
was like kind of strange part of the job, but the cooler part of it was when we started doing restaurant reviews, we kind of pitched this idea like, hey, whoever we have restaurant equipment company or whoever we have restaurant equipment um, I can't talk. Whoever we gave restaurant equipment to, we could do a review on the restaurant. So we did like Rock and Brews, The Porch, Don Julio's, a bunch of different restaurants. So we go there and interview the owners and get to like go into the kitchen and they make us a bunch of free food and stuff.
That's always good.
So that was my entryway, and then I kind of got burned out. I did editing after that for a stock company. I'm not going to say the company name, but it was definitely like the hardest job I've had, and it was very emotionally and yeah, mentally abusing. So that was fun for like 2.5 years, but yeah, yeah.
And what about now? What are your goals in the film industry?
Well, I am pursuing, I guess, the studio industry is kind of lucrative right now. I feel like it's a hot place to be. So, money wise, I think that's going to be where I'm focusing on, like running my business and opening more studios or bigger studios that can generate more money. But once I get that money part of it settled, because obviously we need money to survive,
Hmm.
I do want to pursue doing more short films and maybe even launching more into a production company through the business and start producing our own films more once we have the budget. But I still do music and other creative stuff too. So I would like to keep doing that and do it better and meet more creative people. Potentially move somewhere. I don't want to die in Florida, so maybe move somewhere else and meet more creative people.
Cool, cool. And what about the school, like the job that you do here at school? What kind of classes are your favorite classes to teach?
So I'm in a unique position at this school. I was doing the night class, and I think I'm one of the only instructors that has taught the entire curriculum like all the way through. No one else has really done that. So I got to kind of see every perspective of, the program. Some things I wasn't as strong in, and it was kind of a learning experience for me the first time around because, I've done a lot of things, but I'm mostly an editor at heart. So editing, that's like I can answer any question instantly. Like you got a question on this? All right, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. But then if it comes to other things, it's like, all right, I kind of know the answer. Let me make sure. But, you know, being in an environment like this where you're around other instructors and other people that maybe know a little bit more than you about certain things, it's a learning experience for me too. And I don't think you got to be humble. You can't act like you know everything because no one knows everything, and you have to, keep learning every single day of your life. So being in an environment where I'm around students and around other smart people, they teach me and I teach them. So it's a win-win,
Yeah, we always should be, like trying to always learn something new because yeah, we learn from everybody else. You will be interested in being part of one of my films?
It depends. What role would you have me in? What do you need
I
me to
mean,
do?
you say you love editing. There's a
Um,
lot of blood in my films.
so are we gonna CGI that? I feel like we could do that practically. Are you a CGI person?
No,
So let's just get some blood. Let's get some
I
squid.
like blood. Like I was talking to my friend Daniel in one of the podcasts, and we were talking about the gallons and gallons, like a milk truck type of, of vehicle filled of blood, fake blood.
Is
We
that
use in our
true?
projects.
I gotta see that. How much did that cost?
Yeah, well, one project, um, we did blood on the floor, so there's a lot of blood on the floor. So it's like 5 minutes of blood oozing from the back of a car.
But you make your own blood, right? So it's not that expensive.
Eh, well, kind of. Yeah, we'll make it work.
All right. Well, look, if you need me for something, I'll be there. I'm a busy guy. Look at me. But if I'm free, you got my contact. Just hit me up. Okay.
Cool, cool. Sounds like a plan. And what do you think about, right now it's like a lot of people are like, should I go to school or not? There's a lot of AI tools that we can use to make films. We can make films using AI. Um, what are your thoughts on that topic?
Um, all right, I just went down the rabbit hole on this. I could talk about this for a really long time, but I'm not going to go too deep into AI. But it is something that we need to tread properly. So, I think artistic integrity is important. I think we need to step back and say we can do something, but maybe we should ask ourselves if we should do it. Just because we can generate something and it's cheaper, it doesn't really give you fulfillment, right? You didn't make it yourself. You didn't take the skills to learn that. And I think there is pride taking time to do something. But with anything, like when the camera was invented, we still kept paintings, right? We still painted things. When film came out, we still took pictures. I think AI is going to be another expansion of what we can do, but I think those legacy things are still going to exist. And there's always going to be people that appreciate things that are more human. So I think that's my biggest hope right now is there's more people like me out there that are going to say, hey, why don't we do things ourselves versus losing those skills, which we very well could. And I'm against automation. I'm against a lot of the AI stuff. So I'm just hoping for the best.
What do you think about, like, for example, tools like the AI tools that softwares like Resolve has with, like, with the music, extending the music, finding the beats, tracking, and rotoscoping?
I think DaVinci currently is taking a better approach with things. I don't really like the way Premiere is like, all right, let's do the generative video. I don't know. I think there's certain tools that are useful, right? Like the AI vocal isolation. I'm kind of iffy on the
That one is
AI.
cool.
Yeah,
That
the
one's
AI
super
vocal.
cool.
Use it a lot. I don't know about the AI. I know there's AI mastering now in the paid version. I think I just saw
Mastering?
a video,
Whoa.
and to me, it's like I don't know if we should. I mean, it's hard because as a company, they want to align themselves with other companies, right? And everyone's going to start
Hmm.
introducing AI. So I think it's a slippery slope. All I'm gonna say is some of it's useful, but some of it's like you're kind of taking away that job now because now instead of hiring a mixing engineer, if it gets good enough, well, you can just do the auto mixing. But like I said, legacy things are still gonna exist, and I think there's still gonna be people that trust the audio engineer over the AI.
I
So
mean, I think that it helps too. Like for now, the way that I see that they're seeing it is like for the YouTubers, the content creators in social media, because the filmmakers, the real films, they cannot use AI like that. They cannot get anywhere with that.
yeah, I think hopefully the bigger people that can afford it will not use AI, but the barrier to entry keeps getting lower. And I mean, it's cool to see that in the creative field. We had iPhones that got invented, and now everyone has a camera in their pocket, so they can go record a film in their backyard, or
Yep.
you don't need to go buy a nice camera and do all this stuff to make things. Same with AI. I'm sure it's going to open the door for a lot more people, but I think the higher ups need to set the example, right? Hollywood needs to set the example and
Yes.
say, hey, let's stick to our roots, stick to these legacy things that we've been doing, stick to keeping these jobs, and let the AI be for the lower entry people that don't necessarily have the skills to do what AI can do.
Yep. We don't need another strike like it happened 2 years ago.
No, well, I mean, I just don't know. I'm still trying to research AI more because I want to see what, policies are in place. I just feel like it's a little bit all gas, no brakes on things, but hopefully there's people in the right places being cautious, and that's all I can hope for.
So, thank you for all that insight on the AI technology. But what have been your main challenges in the film industry so far?
I kind of hinted at it. My last job, full-time editing, was a challenge, and it wasn't really the editing itself. I think it's like the work culture there. I think a
Mm,
lot of corporate places, they really just they want to overwork you, and they prefer quantity over quality. So
yeah.
it's kind of just like being brainless and just kind of like doing the same thing over and over again. And when you're at a job like that, you kind of just lose track of time. And that's how, like, 1 year turns into 5 years, 5 years turns into 20 years, and now you don't really know where life went.
So you kind of
And,
you kind of feel like you're working for Ford in the assembly line, right?
yeah, I mean, and a lot of people that get into this industry don't really expect it to be like that. Like they're like, oh, it's going to be creative. It's going to be whatever. I'm going to get into a creative field. But a lot of these video jobs are jobs, they're
Yeah.
corporate, and if you don't work for the right company, you might end up, not liking it just as much as, any office job, right? It's an office job if you work for certain companies. So,
And I can imagine editing too, because if you're editing for a company, you're pretty much just editing the same thing over and over,
yeah,
over and over.
you're basically a robot, and that's how I felt. I felt like it was just the same thing every single day. Like sometimes we do something cool, sometimes a cool CEO would come in. Like I mentioned, like CEO of Viagra came in once, and we're talking to him, and he's making like a new drug, and it's like, whoa, that's crazy. But like most of the time, it's like just these repetitive corporate videos, and the company really wasn't like passionate. They mostly cared about money, so it's like it was a stock company, so it's like, how do we promote this stock? How do we get this stock as high as possible? So it really wasn't anything fulfilling in life. It was kind of
Yeah.
just like, let's just make these videos to make them, and then get old people to call us, and then kind of get them to buy stocks that probably won't go anywhere.
Keep
So
pushing blue pills. Yeah.
yep, and that goes into a bunch of other stuff too. Just with corporate America and greed, and even stocks themselves. A bunch of people just push these stocks, and they get people that aren't familiar with the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll just get them to buy
Yep.
stock that's definitely going to fail, and
Yep.
then they'll pump and dump it, and then the CEOs walk away with a bunch of money. So it's hard to watch that and also be a part of it and promote it. So yeah, it's just that was a big struggle. Personally, that's my experience, but I'm sure there's a lot of good corporate jobs that actually care, but a lot of them, you're going to be just, editing all day and just doing what they want you to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather be on a film set anytime because we can be creative and dump blood on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, that's why narrative and documentary and all that stuff, it's more fulfilling. Obviously, you're gonna have struggles on set, but I'd rather have those like mental challenges, like, okay, like how are we gonna get this done in a day? Like, I'd rather do that, have that like, oh crap, like everything's going wrong, let's fix it, versus like existential dread of like being stuck in an office for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So
That blue light over you
yeah,
hovering.
yeah.
Ugh.
So the struggles of working on a set and working on the film industry, I mean, I love that challenge. I love being on a set and troubleshooting. That's a fun issue for me, right? Like I'd rather, it keeps things interesting. And I've been on sets where things get stressful and some people don't know what they're doing, and or whoever's in charge probably shouldn't be in charge. And I'm sure everyone has been there, but it's still fun and it's good experiences either way. Even if you're on like for me, I always try to like learn from things. So if I am on a bad film set, or if I'm watching a movie or I'm watching a show, I'm like, all right, what are these people doing wrong? And if I was to do this, how could I do it better? So even those bad experiences can be positive to you if you twist it the right way.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And do you like horror films?
Yeah, there's some horror films. Like I haven't watched Hereditary yet because I know that one's probably gonna mess me up. I'm kind of saving that
Oh,
one.
it is
But
a good one.
there's some movies like I don't like psychological ones where like makes me think. There's one movie that got me, Tusk. I don't know if you've seen Tusk, but
No,
it's
not yet.
spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. It's an old movie. Guy turns into a walrus at the end, and it's like a body horror thing. And that movie was like it just messed me up for like a week. I was like, that was really messed up. That guy turned into a walrus and he was stuck as a walrus and they fed him fish for like the rest of his life. So
Ooh, I'm gonna watch that this weekend.
body horror and like the psychological stuff does like mess me up, but like the jump scares and all that stuff, like if it doesn't keep me up at night, like I was scared at the moment, those are chill. Like I'm good with that.
Oh, okay. So you can be in my sets because it's only about blood and killing people and blood and killing people.
Well,
and
actually,
blood.
I do have a commentary about the really gory stuff that I mean, my take on Terrifier specifically.
Yes.
Terrifier, I saw 2 and 3. I didn't see 1. 2 was okay. I didn't think it was that good of a movie. 3, however, was very good at the practical effects, but like I kind of like disturbed me a lot, and I was like, at the
Yeah.
moment, like looking
was the
back on
point.
it, yeah, that's the point. But like I don't know if I'm just like a square. But if I walked out and they had a petition like should kids watch this, I would sign no. Like I would make it.
No, that's not for kids.
Well, but that's what I'm
But it's
saying.
for
Like if somebody brought their kid in there, I was like, you should be charged with child abuse because it was
yes.
very like that's how serial killers are made. Like that's what I thought. I was like, this is like very gory and like people should not watch this. Well, maybe people can watch it, but I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a lot. That was a bit too much for me
Yeah,
personally.
I like Terrifier because of that. The practical effects are great.
It was the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, like back in the 80s, everything practical and fun and not a lot of CGI. So you say you were into the studio business. You want a studio?
Yeah, so I have a studio downtown. It's kind of, I'm in the beta test right now. We opened up our first location and, I've helped out with other studios. I was cleaning a studio for a bit just on the side, helping my friend out because, he was kind of running thin on running a studio himself. So I would go there and help him run it. And I saw the business and I saw the business model. I was like, this is something I could do. So we found a location and I was like, let's do a test. Let's open up a spot here. The rent's not too much and let's see how it goes. So it's been about a year and it's working out. Like I'm kind of figuring out how peer space works and, dealing with clients and what people want, like what to provide at a set, what kind of equipment they want. So we actually toured another location today, right before I came here. That's why I was a little late.
Bigger place?
A bigger place. So it's hitting all the marks for us, and I think we're gonna sign on that. So we're gonna have 2 locations, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool to open up a business and try it out. I think a lot of people, have these dreams of doing stuff, but you just have to full send it. Like people told me it was a bad idea. They were like, "Why are you doing that? Wait, you're doing sets and not more psych walls and blah blah blah." Like everyone has their own commentary,
Yep.
but I just did what I wanted to do. I had a lookbook and I made it exactly how I wanted to make it, and it's doing well. So stay true to yourself and like do what you want to do, and don't let people say it's a bad idea because right now for me it's working out. So
Yeah, if they're coming and they like your concept, especially if it's different,
Yeah.
then why not?
yeah, and it's finding that sweet spot too. Like
Yeah, what can we expect on the new space?
I have been talking to a few people locally. I do want to do something different with the studio. So my aesthetic, I like retro, I like mid-century stuff. So I reached out to a bunch of like mid-century, what's the word, like showrooms that have like stuff for sale there, and I was like, furniture stores. So I was like, how do you feel about extending your showroom into a place like a studio where your stuff could be, you know, in our studio, available for pictures. We can set up a deal if anything gets broken, you know, we'll pay for it, have it covered. But, you know, kind of promoting their own furniture. We get stuff that we can rotate out and have the sets be able to change. So, you know, every couple months we can have different furniture. And a lot of these pieces are expensive. Mid-century furniture is either really rare or really expensive. So some people might not be able to see some of this stuff that costs like $1,500 for like a cabinet or something, right? But it looks really cool. So they might want that for a photo shoot. And I think it's a good way to get their furniture out there, get it in pictures, and say, hey, everything here is for sale. And that gives us the chance to rotate it out. So that's kind of my new business model I'm playing with. And I have some people that might be interested, but I just have to work out, you know, how do we ensure that nothing of theirs is going to break, and setting up contracts and things like if something is broken, it was going to be paid for by whoever, you know. So it's cool. I've been exploring different things.
That's nice because, you know, there's a lot of big studios or people opening a lot of studios for film, but most of the time is blank spaces and stuff. So it's good to have options for the independent filmmakers. So that way, you know, they have a place where they can look for specific sets and specific places that have a particular look that will fit their needs, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's something I'm really leaning towards, is the sets and making it, you know, more geared towards film. I really was debating, like, should I put a cyc wall on this one? Because I was like, what if I just go all sets? I think I'm going to do a cyc wall just because it does open up that option for photographers, and photographers are a really big business. So giving that option for them, I think, is something that I'm going to do just to have it. But if in the perfect world, I think I would scrap that and just do sets, because you know, filmmaker at heart here. I want it for the film people, but I'm gonna go throw the photographers a bone and probably do the cyc wall. Cyc wall though is the hardest part of the studio. It's the most time consuming part. It has to be painted like every day, every other day. Yeah, it's the maintenance of it. So doing that alone, like, definitely will take up most of my time, but I think it's worth it for the photographers money wise. So probably gonna do that.
For people that want to work with you, either on the editing page or for studio, how can they contact you?
You can hit me up. You can hit up our studio if you ever want to use the studio. Big Buddy Studio Big Buddy Studio on Instagram. If you want to hit me up, email me. We can be professional. Dominic.o.crane@gmail.com. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Dominic Crane. Google me. I'll probably come up. I'll come up first if you Google my name, DOMONIC. Crane, like the bird. You can Google me. I'll pop up.
Not like the building thing.
What's the building?
You know, the
cranes, like a crane. Yeah, or that too. I think it's spelled the same way. Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I just thought about that, like the crane that they used to build the skyscrapers.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen one in a long time. I think they're fake.
Maybe they're AI.
I think everything's AI. I think we're in a simulation. What do you think? Are you real? Is this real?
Is it real? You tell me.
Dun,
Am I
dun,
real?
dun.
Are you real?
I might not be. Anymore, it's hard to tell.
Well, Dom, thanks for coming and spending some time with me.
Hey, no, thank you.
I'll see you around.
Yeah. Is this going to be released soon?
Maybe soon. Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on.
Yes. And thank you guys for coming and spending some time with us. We'll see you on the next one on the new. Sorry, my bad. On the next Real Independent. Yes, thanks for coming. Yeah, that was really good.
No, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Let's make a dent. It's the Purple Director on Real Independent. Welcome to the show. Let's make a movie.